Some pretty crazy things are happening in crypto right now as we speak. Matter of fact, I'd say that today was an extremely important day for crypto, but I'll cover exactly why. Don't worry, just make sure you press that like button. Because I mean, today we broke some records. And no, that's not a good thing. No, that is actually one of the worst records. I don't even want to show you. Take a look. So the 3 Hong Kong spot ETFs are gonna start trading today in a few hours. They're ready to go on Bloomberg. That was late last night. I was excited about it, and oh boy, am I disappointed. This is not the only massive thing happening today, and that's good, because otherwise I'd leave you all with an empty feeling in your stomach of regret and bad choices. I meant that the opposite way around, bad choices and regret. Anyway, there was a cool ceremony and all. I was pretty excited about it. It all seemed so official. It all seemed so good. It all seemed so, ready with all those flashing lights, etc. of something massive that was about to happen. Some nice presenters and everything. So you think that from here, it was up only, and up only it was. Up only it was. And I mean, the expectations were there. I mean, Eric Bokuna said China AMC is pretty confident that Hong Kong can outdo the US in Bitcoin ETF flows and volume on day one, which again started today. Also says other regions like Singapore and the Middle East could seek out the ETFs, although confirmed off limits for China mainland investors. So this was the quote: "I am very confident that the initial listing scale of Hong Kong's virtual spot ETFs, more than 125 million US dollars, can exceed the issuance scale on the first day of the US. The issuance scale of the US, the 10 US Bitcoin spot ETF issuers on the first day of January 10th this year was 125 mil. 𝗓𝗂 is confident that it'll become the largest ETF issuer among the 3 issuers, and the details will be revealed to everyone at 9:30 tomorrow morning." And again, if we're taking a look at the legitimacy of these claims, Eric said, well, anything close to 125 mil would be unreal on day one for Hong Kong. That's equivalent to $21 billion in the US. I do love how competitive they are, though. Good for ETF industry. That said, if they can pull that off, I don't see them coming close to 10 billion net in the first 2 to 3 months. If they beat that, I will fly to Asia and suck. Oh, no, he didn't say that. I personally buy them each sushi lunch and tell them how I underestimated them, okay? A little bit less cool than anticipated, but I feel you might be realizing now. So what were the numbers like? Expectation sky high. Everybody crazy excited. Well, here we go. Here's Hong Kong's ETF volume breakdown. Whoa, let's get ready. All told traded, $12.4 million. A lot for that market, equivalent to 1.6 billion in the US, so, relative it's pretty good. But $12.4 million, it's not that much. I'm not sure if you guys disagree with me on this one, but it ain't that much. Assets, much stronger though. China AMC reporting 141 million in assets, which is good. So the volume here, the excitement was a very big letdown, but in essence, the backing, the assets here, 141 million, that's not bad. Equivalent to $22 billion in US, with 121 million of it in BTC and 20 million of it in Ethereum. So ETH grabbed roughly 14%. All early data, other issuers not yet reported, more to come. And this is like, let's see here, 15 minutes ago that this was posted. East versus West, the US did 740 million in assets and 4.6 billion in trading. So, 12 million versus 4.6 billion. These are far below that, but if you adjust for the size of their market, it's a different story. I don't like to compare sizes of market because at the end of the day, it's their influence in the general crypto space, right? 12 million is 12 million. Oh, but their market is smaller. Yeah, 12 million is 12 million. But that's just my thoughts, though. These are far below the US numbers, but if you adjust for the market size, it's a different story. Equivalent to 25 billion plus in assets and 1.6 billion in volume, respectively. For context, China AMC's Bitcoin ETF is already among the top 20% biggest in that market after one day. So from that perspective, not so bad. It's a perspective thing. As I said in early tweets on Hong Kong, you have to understand. You have to understand. It is 168th the size of the US. What is an ETF market for ants? Yes, it is What? Is this an ETF market for ants? Yes, it is. That said, Hong Kong ETFs launched at a good time as the US is slowing down. So their 141 million inflows is going to offset slightly negative US flows. Okay, so that part was kind of vague, but I think we all understood. We all understood the thesis here. They launched. It was a big day. Good things. You know, disappointment at first, but it ended up being a good thing, I'd say. Moving on into story number 2. And as I said before, if you haven't pressed that like button yet, you're not subscribed to the channel yet, you might want to do so, because I try to cover all the most important crypto news every single day. And this has got to take the cake. So today what's happening, right? And we're talking US time, so it's probably like starting up now. CZ of Binance will be sentenced in the US Court of Seattle today, after pleading guilty to 1 count of violating the Bank Secrecy Act last November. The Department of Justice has recommended twice the normal maximum of 18 months, which is 3 years, 36 months in prison, citing the scale of his misconduct. So why 3 years? Well, CZ's plea agreement said he couldn't appeal any sentence under 18 months. While there was no clauses preventing US prosecutors from recommending a greater sentence, CZ then would have the right to appeal it. So again, 18 months being what he should probably just get, but they wanted to put it even higher. So now he can actually go against the grain though. So it's kind of interesting. How much jail time do you think CZ should receive? Stay tuned for tomorrow. So today I'm following it. And following it I have. Now, over the past couple of hours, not too much has actually been reported. There's small pieces. Convicted CZ owns 100% of Binance France. Oh. These things, in my humble opinion, are just nitpicks of people trying to get clicks. And when I say that, I mean CZ is part owner. And we can go as far as we want, but the guy, which I didn't know, by the way, has an Emirati passport also? Interesting, I didn't know that. He's done pretty well for himself to get that, I guess. Nice. No, but the guy is one out of many. To be like, oh, he owns 100% tactics, right? He's a CEO and a co-founder, but he's not the one. He's not Mr. Binance. We portray him like that because we often do so with CEOs, but the guys making the articles probably know as well that he doesn't own everything. He's not the sole owner of it all. And him going down here is him just taking one for the team. I personally think you can't blame a CEO for something the company is doing to this degree. I mean, you can punish him a little bit, but the way in which they're going for it now, I think, is way too severe, especially because nobody got hurt in the process. But hey, that's the law for you. The law isn't always fair and isn't always the way it should be. Matter of fact, I think the law, most of the time, actually is pretty stupid. I think the justice system has some good parts to it, don't get it twisted, but it's really, really stupid in a lot of other ways too. Most of the time, it seems to get it wrong, but hey, that's just my thoughts. Respect to every judge out there or lawyer out there watching. You guys are probably good at your job, but the system itself, But talking about consensus, apparently Zhao's lawyers have actually tried to get him back down to 5 months, which would be crazy if it was jail, but they're talking about 5 months probation. But it's a pretty big difference, right? 3 years in jail or just 5 months probation. And that's apparently the case because he accepted responsibility for the money laundering violations and has already been away from his family for more than 5 months after being ordered to remain in the US. Filings made by Zhao's lawyers include letters from his family, investors, UAE royals, and former US ambassador to China Max Baucus, among others, mentioning his charity work and painting him as a family man. And yeah, he used to live really close to me, but now he's gone for a while. And if you're wondering, by the way, all this extra sentencing is mostly just because they want to really push this message to the world. If you do stuff with crypto and you get caught, I guess, you're gonna rot in prison for a long time, you bad guy. That's, I think, the message that they're trying to put out here. I even saw a couple of articles stating that this guy might be the richest person to ever get jailed in the US. Now, I don't know what his net worth would be, 20, 30, 40, 100 billion. I guess at some point he probably was the most influential, I guess still he's the most influential crypto person. There's an argument to be made for it that he's the most influential crypto person out there. I was like, maybe Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder of Ethereum. Joe Lubin is also quite important, but they're less known in a certain sense. Maybe Satoshi Nakamoto, but again, who or what is that? I don't think it's Roger Ver at all. Anyway, long story short, because I can go on a tangent for a while, it's hard to say when a person really deserves jail for these financial type of conducts. And I'm not a lawyer, I won't claim to be, and I can't say that this whole game is easy. But when I look at this guy, I look at what he's done, I honestly don't think it's that bad. I don't think it deserves multiple years in prison, and I don't really think it proves anything to anybody because, you know, just being honest here, kind of what this states is, hey, you're running a crypto exchange and you're letting people all over the world trade on it, you become one of the richest persons in the world and you won't hurt anybody. You might have to sit in jail for a couple of years, but afterwards you'll come out as still one of the richest people on earth with still nobody hurt, with still operations being pretty fine. And what's the point there exactly? He's not going to be poor afterwards. Nothing's going to really change at Binance. I mean, what? What? I think most people, matter of fact, now that I think about it, after this sentencing, because from that perspective, let's be real here for a second. From that perspective, 3 years ain't that long. Let's say this 3 years in prison gets you to build the best thing ever. You become one of the richest people on earth, the biggest platform out there in the crypto space. It's a pretty good trade, let's be real. So from that perspective, if he's being put as an example, a lot of people would want to follow that because it's a pretty good deal. Matter of fact, I don't know, okay. No, I don't think I know a single person who wouldn't do okay, there's probably some old ones out there. I don't know a single person under 60, 65 that wouldn't do 3 years in prison for $40 billion. Now, you might tell me, oh, I value my life more. 3 years, 40 billion? A lot of people would do that. Matter of fact, I think 99% of the people at least would be fine with that trade. And then stepping down as CEO, meaning your work is now also over. So you basically get $40 billion, retire, but have to go 3 years in prison. Most people will take it. I know that's not the full story. I'm just saying, I don't know exactly what they're proving here as being the, oh, you got caught. Yeah, this is gonna prove something to anybody. I don't even know. But hey, at the end of the day, I guess it doesn't matter too much anyway. Because it's all BS, and you know it, I know it. But yeah, make sure you press the subscribe button to be here next time I post something. Because what if something crazy happens? You wanna be notified? That's about it.